Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Going for a face shave today. I'm going to try and knock this one out reasonably quick. I've been running a little bit behind today. Been out and watched my sons with the granddad and my wife, watching them play the first sort of soccer tournament with a new sort of club, and they absolutely loved it and did really well. So we took them out and bought them a new pair of football boots as Maxie's fell apart while they was playing. We got Mitchell a pair because he's been wearing his big sisters that are a little bit big for him, so I took them out and spoiled them for doing so well for the last term. And yeah, I'm just going to get stuck in. So the soap for today, I'm sticking with Wickham for the next, what will be the next 5 shaves, including this one, Bleu. The reason I picked this one is Paul Pogba will be on the pitch tonight against Argentina for France, and yeah, I've got Argentina to win. I've got France to win tonight. It's going to be a really tough game. I don't know who's going to win, but that's who I've got in my accumulator to win. Now, the scent on this soap, beautiful cologne scent, and it is based on Bleu de Chanel, and it's really nice. Now, the brush for today is the Semogue Owners Club 2012 Special Edition, and this one is a, as you can see, I think it's a 24mm Badger Boar mix, and it's a 50-50 mix. So you can see Semogue, and you can see on the bottom there, Special Edition Owners Club 2012. I love this handle. It's really ergonomic, the Semogue handles. It's got a good weight to it, and this knot, as you can see, it's not gel tips, but you can see where they're all starting to stick together because of splitting. I have to put a massive thanks out to young Spencer over on the east coast of Australia, who pretty much broke this brush in for me. I was struggling with it, a bit too much scritch for me, and he absolutely smashed it for me, as he has done with my that Dan Robb brush as well. I'm really looking forward to getting that one back to see what that feels like. It was just too scrubby for me, that brush. I didn't get any scritch or scratch from it. Obviously Spencer Ladder's different to me, so he got a lot of scritch and scratch from that one, but he says it's better now, so if he's not getting the scritch and scratch as much, I'm hoping that the scrub will be even nicer as well than from what I was getting. So I'm just loading up now. I load a little bit heavier with the natural hair brushes, especially these ones. They do tend to make the lather disappear as you're using it. You can see all that oozing out there already. Now, I can tell you right now, there's no way I'll be getting a lather like I got yesterday with the Hulk from Razor Rock. That was just an incredible lather from the same soap base, same soap from the Club Cola Wickham. But that Razor Rock Hulk beast of a brush whips up one of the best lathers that I've ever made. I haven't made a bad lather with that Hulk brush yet. I don't think I ever will. It's just so massive. You've just got to make sure that you seriously overload. There you go. I'm shaking like mad here. Shit ton of load. There's a little bit left in the tub, so I'll grab some warm water on the face. No head shaves at the moment because I'm just struggling for time. With my dad being over, I end up spending so much time talking to him that I lose track of time and then have to rush to get to work. Well, not rush to get to work, but I'm pretty much bang on getting ready to leave for the time I have to, rather than having a little bit of spare time to do the extras. Now, for one reason or another, the shave I had yesterday seemed to last a lot better than the one before. I'm using the same blade again today. I did screw up yesterday with how many times I'd used. I've actually used the blade that's in this razor today, the Kai blade. I've used that. This will be the 4th use today, not the 5th. So I won't be marking up the blade again. I'll just leave it as is with the 4 marks on it, and then mark the 5th one after today's shave, if it gets that far. I know it will, because the Kai blades get better with use. Do you want to dip the tips? It's got a stunning amount of scrub, like just the right amount for me. It's not too much, it's not too little. I can still feel those hairs that used to give me the little bit of scritch and scratch, but they're really softened up now. It's definitely a lather monster, this brush as well, really. Once you get it going right, you need to overload it, you really do. Look at this. But you get rewarded with stuff like that. Wow. Just wow. Phenomenal soap, easy to lather, really easy to lather. And here we go, once again with the Karve razor, C-plate, 0.85 blade gap, and the fourth use on the Kai blade, which I thought was yesterday and it's not today, so this will be my fourth use on this blade, and let's see how she performs. That TV you're hearing is actually behind the wall on that side. Jesus. Right, lovely. I'll just be back in a minute. Alright, and we're back. I've just turned that down a touch, it was just too loud. Right, residual slickness should be pretty good. Spot on, really impressive. I find the more you overload your brush and the more thicker soap you get in your face, the better this stuff is. Let's scoop this on the chin. No. It's the same again with this. Get a little bit of a sort of bowl shape. Scoop some of the lather into the bowl like so, like that. Just move it around. Just so easy to work with, Wickham. It really is. Natural or synthetic brushes work great with it. Across the grain. Okay, so this is a full shave with the Karve blade, and it's starting to feel more now like the Gillette spoiler in terms of its smoothness. The efficiency I find with the Karve is generally always there, it's always reasonably sharp. The first shave isn't. That first few strokes on the first shave are pretty average, and if you can't get past that, you'll never like these blades. I've had the odd blade from Karve that's just worked perfect straight off the bat and it's been really sharp and smooth, but the majority of them, that first sort of 5, 6, maybe more strokes, it's a little bit rough, and I can understand a lot of people not enjoying that and just packing it away straight away. It's not worth doing something if it's not enjoyable. I don't mind getting past that. Now that I'm at 4 shaves, it's almost sort of worth it really. Right, across the grain other direction. So I'm definitely at a stage now with this blade that I feel like I can really attack myself with it. But not be cutting myself to bits or getting any real weepers. Just a couple of tiny little ones, but I am going pretty quick on the skin. So I'm just going to, a little bit on there. This little part's just against the grain. Beautiful. What a shave. I know I keep saying it, but I'm not really. Now that I've found my razor of choice, the razor that works for me best, I'm finding it almost impossible to get a bad shave from it. Right, let's pop a little bit of cologne pops in. We'll just go with a bit of Humphreys Lilac, which is the lavender scent. It's not a strong lavender by any means. It doesn't even smell like the good quality natural essential oil lavender. But it's probably because it's lilac. I think lilac's actually a flower. I think Stephen, the Suffolk shaver, actually brought that up for me. I was getting it wrong, saying it was actually lavender and it's not, it's lilac. Now that I remember. Don't think it actually says on here. Yeah, lilac pink herb, so it's not actually lavender. I keep saying it's lavender. It's not meant to smell like lavender at all. It's meant to smell like lilac. So it smells like lilac, I think. I'll just rinse this brush out. Now, every time prior to using my board brushes now, not my badges, but all my board brushes, anything that's got board hair in it, if I remember, I actually stick it in the fridge in cold water in the morning when I get up out of bed, getting ready for my shave in the afternoon, or late morning, and then I come back to it, take it out, give it a good dusting off on a towel, and then I just immediately soak it in warm water. Now, that might not be the best thing to do, but it's my thing, I'll see how it goes. Hopefully I don't ruin the knots. I can't see why it would, but okay, let's rinse the soap out. So yeah, I've got a couple of little weepers again. So it just goes to show it doesn't matter really at the moment what blade I'm using, unless it's that Gillette spoiler or even a Nasset. I will come back to Nasset eventually, that I get weepers. So it's obviously something to do with the blade. It's not my technique, because my technique with this razor I feel is pretty spot on now. I'm getting the angle spot on all the way around. I'm not getting any real irritation or anything when I use it. So it's nothing to do with the razor itself. It's nothing to do with my technique. It's pretty much all to do with the blades. And let's say I've got a couple of little weepers here and there. But other than that, that's a stunning shave. My skin feels great, no irritation feeling, and it's just wonderful. Wickham 1912 Le Bleu, based on Bleu de Chanel. Brush today was this gorgeous little Semogue, which I absolutely love. I love the knot, I love the handle, and I reckon over the next year or two from use, this knot's really going to excel and it's going to really soften up. But it's absolutely beautiful. It's lovely to use. It's a very short lofted brush. There's not much loft on that, but it sprays just enough. It's got just enough face feel. It's got a lovely amount of scrub. The tips have started to really soften, and I think they will continue to soften with more use. Excuse me. Most of the bow hair in this now has split. Most of it, not all of it, but most of it. Just looks amazing. And there was no real duff hairs in here. There was no hairs upside down or fat hairs. They were all the right way around pretty much. So excellent knot. The Karve all brass 3-piece razor with the Kai blade on its 4th use. And yeah, look, the results speak for themselves. I've got a very close shave, very comfortable shave with no real irritation. Now, one thing I will say, one side of the blade was just ever so slightly, and I mean minuscule amount, slightly less smooth and efficient as the other side. But what I do is I flip my blade over, I just keep flipping it every shave, and we go from there and just see how it goes. But so far so good on the Kai blade. I'm up to 5 shaves the next one, and I'm quite confident I'll get up near 10, possibly more. I don't think I'll reach the lofty standards of the spoiler and reach 20 shaves with it, but if I can get near 10 with it, it gives you a good idea of how much better this is than a feather blade. And after that first few strokes, it starts to really feel smooth and sharpen up. Finished it off with Humphreys Lilac, scented like lilac. If you watch this, Stephen, thanks for the info. I know your knowledge on stuff, mate, is excellent, I have to say. You do tend to sort of give me tips and pointers and point me in the right direction when I get things wrong, which I often do. So thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Any questions, any comments, pop them down below. If you haven't liked to subscribe to the channel, do so. The content is never ending pretty much. It's just flat out content all the time. And yes, you won't watch it all. Most people won't watch it all. I've got a few hardcore subscribers that do, I think. But most people won't watch every video. But it gives you the option of all different soaps and different brushes at the moment. Like I say, this razor here is the only razor that will feature on my channel for face shaves. It's the only one that will feature at the moment. Unless I get heavy growth, I might pull out the R1 Calypso from above the tie. But until I get all my Karve plates sent through, this will be the only razor that I use anyway, and it will be once I get the plates as well. But soaps and brushes will always change, post-shave routine will always change, post-shave products will always change, and obviously I'll get older, more wrinkly and more bald, so that will change as well. So stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.